Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the Bible, specifically the Book of Psalms, chapter 5, verses 1 to 13. The Book of Psalms is a collection of 150 hymns, prayers, and songs written by various authors, including King David. Chapter 5, verses 1 to 13, are a beautiful expression of David's trust in God and his plea for divine protection. David begins by praising God for his unwavering faithfulness and love. He then goes on to ask God to protect him from his enemies and to lead him in the path of righteousness. The verses conclude with a heartfelt prayer for God's guidance and protection. Psalm 5 1 to 12 expresses a fervent prayer and lament by David, pleading for God's hearing and protection, particularly from his enemies. He acknowledges God's holiness and aversion to wickedness, while simultaneously expressing confidence in God's favor and blessing for the righteous. The passage highlights God's judgment on the wicked and his unwavering love for those who seek him. Detailed breakdown. Verses 1 to 3. David asks God to hear his prayer and consider his distress, recognizing God as his king and God. He states his habit of praying in the morning, eagerly awaiting God's response. Verses 4 to 6. David acknowledges God's holiness, emphasizing that he takes no pleasure in wickedness and destroys those who are wicked, liars, and murderers. Verses 7 to 8. Despite acknowledging God's aversion to wickedness, David expresses confidence in being able to enter God's presence due to God's great mercy and grace. He also prays for God's guidance and protection against his enemies. Verses 9 to 10. David laments his enemies' deceitfulness and prays for God to punish them, casting them out for their transgressions. Verses 11 to 12. David concludes by expressing joy in God's favor and protection for the righteous, affirming that God blesses and surrounds them with his shield of love. Key themes: prayer and lament. David's plea reflects a deep need for God's intervention and protection. God's holiness and justice. The psalm emphasizes God's aversion to evil and his commitment to punishing the wicked. Confidence in God's grace. Despite acknowledging the wicked, David expresses confidence in God's favor and blessing for those who seek him. Blessing for the righteous. The psalm concludes with a promise of God's protection and favor for those who are righteous and seek him. A sermon outline for Psalm 5 could explore the contrast between David's approach to God in prayer and the rejection of the wicked. It could also highlight the importance of seeking God's righteousness and experiencing his mercy while simultaneously recognizing God's justice and condemnation of evil. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the Book of Psalms. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and insightful content. Until next time, take care and stay blessed.